If you run a marketing agency, your team is wasting time on work that shouldn't exist anymore. Things like copying data from one tool into another, turning client briefs into project tasks manually, writing weekly reports from scratch, chasing feedback across email, Slack, and your project management tool. All of that work adds up, and most of the time nobody questions it because it's just how the agency runs. In this video, I want to show you how marketing agencies are starting to scale without hiring more people, simply by automating a lot of these operational tasks. At the end, I'll also show you how you can apply for a free automation audit where I take a look at your agency system and identify where automations could save the most time. I used to touch the same email 4 times before actually dealing with it. 100 plus emails a day, support tickets, Slack messages, all living in different tools, constantly forcing me to context switch. My inbox was my to-do list and my to-do list was a lie. So I automated my way out of it. Emails were processed by AI, summarized, categorized, prioritized. Everything in one place. No more copying data from one tool into another. And that's when I realized something. The agencies I was working with had the same problem, just at a much bigger scale. It wasn't one inbox, it was an entire team's copying data between tools all day. That's when I started building the systems for agencies. And if you're running an agency, this is probably happening inside your team right now. Let's start with how most agencies try to scale. When you get more clients, the workload increases. Your team starts feeling overwhelmed, so the natural thing to do is hire more people. At first, that works, but after a while, your margin starts shrinking, you spend more time managing people, communication becomes more complicated, and projects move slower because more people are involved. What ends up happening is that the agency scales linearly with headcount. If you want more revenue, you need more people, but that model hits a ceiling pretty quickly. And that reason is something most agencies owners don't immediately see. The real bottleneck inside many agencies isn't talent, it isn't sales either, it's operations. There's a huge amount of invisible manual work happening every day inside most agencies. People move information between tools, account managers read client briefs and turn them into tasks, team redo research because they can't find the previous work, weekly reports get written by hand. In many agencies, 30 to 40% of the team's time goes into repetitive operational work that could be automated. And the main reason for that is pretty simple. The tools you are using don't really talk to each other, so people end up acting as the glue between systems. Your team becomes the integration layer. The agencies that are scaling faster today are approaching things differently. Instead of solving every new problem by hiring, they start building automation into their operations. They connect the tools they already use: CRM, project management, email, analytics, reporting tools. Once those systems are connected, a lot of the work used to require human intervention just happens automatically. Information flows between tools without anyone touching it. Let me give you a few examples of what that actually looks like inside an agency. Imagine a client sends a briefing. Normally, someone on the team has to read the brief, extract the input information, create the project in the project management tool, generate a task and assign them to the team. That process can easily take 20 to 30 minutes. With automation, the system can extract the key information from the brief, create the project automatically, generate the task and assign them to the right people. The whole thing happens in seconds. Another common example is client reporting. A lot of agencies still create weekly reports manually. Someone logs into different platforms, collects numbers, summarizes what happened during the week and sends an update to the client. With automation, the system can pull the data directly from analytic tools, campaign platforms and project system, then generate the report automatically. The report is ready to send without anyone having to assemble it manually. Feedback is another area where agencies lose a lot of time. Clients send feedback through email, Slack, project tools, or during meetings. Someone on the team has to go through that feedback and turn it into tasks. Automations can extract the action items from those messages and create tasks automatically. So instead of someone translating feedback into work, the system does it for you. There's also the issue of knowledge management, strategy research, competitor analysis, audience insight. A lot of that work gets lost once a project ends, which means teams often redo the same research again months later. Automation can capture the knowledge and store it in a structured, searchable system so you can reuse it across projects. Over time, The agency builds a knowledge base instead of constantly starting from scratch. When agencies implement systems like this, something interesting happens. Their capacity increases dramatically. The same team can handle more clients without feeling overwhelmed. A team of 10 people can operate like a team of 20. Projects move faster, margins improve, operations become much smoother. Instead of scaling with headcount, the agencies start scaling with systems. Now, most agency owners already know there's a lot of manual work happening inside their business. The difficult part is figuring out where automation would actually make the biggest difference. If you're running a marketing agency and you'd like to know where automation could save your team the most time, I offer a free automation audit. I look at your tools, your workflows, and how your agency actually operates, and show you exactly where you're losing time and what can be automated first. If you want me to take a look at your agency, you can apply using the link in the description. The agencies that will win over the next decade won't just be creative agencies. They'll be system-driven agencies. Because once your operation starts running on automation, your growth is no longer limited by how many people you can hire.